You came out on record that no one should be arrested in the country. You mentioned specifically Job Sikhala. To my surprise, he has been arrested. You ask yourself questions, but didn't you hear what the order said? I'm asking, where is the military? The military needs to take action. I said, they have arrested an innocent man. That is actually Job Sikhala. What else can we do with ZANU-PF and Mnangagwa's regime? This regime is pissing me off literally every day, y'all. Every day. So that's what's trending right now. The arrest of Job Sikhala. What did he do? Okay, what did he do, if I may ask you? Like, what is it done? Okay. This regime is wild. It's really wild, guys. And I want us to have a chat about this very quickly, because it makes me upset. Okay, it makes me really furious. Like now, furious. I'm mad. Okay, and we're also going to be listening to what Bishop Nanga said as far as the quarrels and the fight within the ZANU-PF structures are concerned. All right, I see 100 people just pressing the button. Listen, I want to say I love you. So once you're just pressing the button, it's a good thing. Remember what I asked you yesterday? Just come through and like the live, because you know what it does? It assists me, okay, to push algorithm. Because when you don't, guys, I don't want your money. I don't want, just like the live. That's all I'm asking. Is that too much to ask, y'all? Is it too much to ask? All right, guys. So I also want to say, if it's just like your first time passing through this channel, please note that you are loved, and do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because every time I'm going to come here, you're also going to be robbed here, so we can converse. I mean, I am upset, but at the same time also excited that we are getting closer and closer. By the way, there's going to be another presser this weekend. There's going to be another presser from Comrade GEZA this weekend. Okay, Mnangagwa is jittering, like he's under pressure. I saw him going to Tanzania, but looking very unsettled. You know, imagine you don't know what's going to happen as you land by the airport. Okay, I'm just saying. I am just saying, you never know. But anyway, like I mentioned earlier on, Job Sikhala has been arrested. He has been arrested for how many times, guys? Arresting this guy for absolutely nothing. This guy is a threat, huge threat to the regime. You know, he has been very clear about where he stands as far as the hatred for ZANU-PF is concerned. You're not alone, Mr. Sikhala. We all don't like ZANU-PF. We really don't. So I'm going to read the reports that were dropped by Change Radio, and also tell you some of the reactions right now on social media. People are asking questions. Where are you? Why is it people speak whatever they want and nothing happens? And I'm going to get to that as I pass my commentary. But let me now talk about the report. Okay, that has been dropped by Change Radio. So they said, breaking news, former MP Honorable Job Sikhala has been arrested in Mutare. Sikhala, together with 40 others, were arrested a few minutes ago at a venue where they were having a private meeting. Dear Zimbabweans, this is how anyone who is assumed to be a threat to ZANU-PF's rulership is treated. Okay, but there's so many questions right now on social media. I said there are so many questions. Understandably so. People's questions are, how come people like Jealous Maure came out, he had his interview with HSTV, spoke a lot against Mnangagwa, and he went home and began to die. We also had the office, including my father, Comrade GEZA, shout out, sir. He came out and he was brutal towards Mnangagwa. And up to now, nothing. They're just throwing threats there, nothing happened. And why is it they always want to arrest Job Sikhala? Tell me why. Why do they hate this man so much that they just want to see him suffer? What is it about Job Sikhala? Honestly, like, I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. Anyway, so let me read some of the reaction that people said. I loved the one for Lynn, to be specific. Lynn was very clear. Good day. No, there must be something not right, because when Job Sikhala just do one little step, he gets arrested. But there's so many things that's been happening during the week. We never saw any action. Okay, right? We never see nothing. Mnangagwa is afraid of these guys, but he is not afraid of Job Sikhala. He can arrest him anytime, okay, any minute, for absolutely nothing. So he said once Wakuti Job Sikhala has been arrested, but GEZA is out there after telling ED to go CFF. Okay, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna repeat that. Imimoraba kuti GEZA Chibaba. He's not alone. I got Samira Gidi. Okay, I mean we know that the military. I mean people are saying the military is behind everything that you see. So I'm like, dear military brothers, you can see now that Mnangagwa once again arrested an innocent person. Take action. Okay, take action because we are tired of living in a country where we have to be abused. This is not about politics. We cannot allow Mnangagwa's regime abusing our people for absolutely nothing. We cannot allow it. If you can treat John, you should treat Mary the same. I'm simply saying it's about time we all treat Zimbabweans equal. Okay, I'm a firm believer that once you want to treat someone different, people can feel it. They can ask people who have been raised by stepmothers who are evil, or who have been raised by family, who have been in a very compromised position. They can tell you that it's difficult to be mistreated, you know, especially when others are treated well. So the issue of keep on arresting Job Sikhala is pathetic. Okay, that's why I'm calling out the military to take action against Mnangagwa's thugs. Okay, they have to take action, because if they can take action for Comrade GEZA, they can take action for any other Zimbabwean, which include me and you. All of us, we matter. All of us, we are important. I genuinely believe that in Zimbabwe we need to start stopping from all this drama and shenanigans and hold everyone in high regard. Okay, hold everyone in high regard. Let me also read what Hope Wachingona said. It's getting out of hand. He says Zimbabwean politician and former political prisoner Job Sikhala has been arrested in Mutare along with 4 others while holding a private national leadership meeting. He spent 2 years in prison for crimes he didn't commit. He spent his time in prison in solitary confinement. This guy has been arrested, staying in prison. The state should be paying Job Sikhala for actually wasting his time. Okay, I'm talking about the regime in Zimbabwe. All Job Sikhala money, okay, and family, millions of dollars, for abusing his rights. If it was in South Africa, this guy could have walked away with the millions of rands. Because you can't just put someone behind bars for nothing. And then you think that's all right. And this regime is very disrespectful. Extremely disrespectful. And I realized that in Zimbabwe, we're kind of massaging something or kind of pacifying it. You know, Mnangagwa is not a dictator of any sort. He's simply a man who's we have seen that Zimbabwe tolerate nonsense and he's just playing people. There's no dictatorship about him at all. Nothing, absolutely nothing. This guy is a coward. Because if he was that powerful and strong, you won't be acting the way he does. You won't be using violence. If you are really a political player, right? You believe in your wisdom or your intelligence. Come head on, face other, go for a debate, and prove that you're smart. But not use violence. That's not being a leader. There's no leadership in a person who applies violence. Absolutely none. Okay, I know he has unleashed quite a number of people calling them Marakashi to attack us. Okay, they're thinking Marakashi could come out and compete with my platform and others of my brothers and sisters' platforms. Okay, like we want a better Zimbabwe. And Mnangagwa think he can send some people to answer his phones and say fighting with us. And I'm like, head on, bring it on, bring it on, anytime, any day. Bring it on, sir, because I will do what's right, okay, for the Zimbabwean people, not for drama and jokes. That's not why we're here. Leave Job Sikhala alone. I'm expecting the military to pick up the phone like they did in 2017. Do you remember that? When Changira was in a meeting, because this is on record, actually I heard Weshmengule confirming it. When Changira was in a meeting at that time, they're holding a meeting in their opposition sectors. The military picked up a phone and phoned Changira and these guys and said, yo, listen, you need to stop your meeting immediately. Okay? And they stopped the meeting because they were about to do the coup. So I'm expecting the military to pick up the phone right now and phone that Mutare police station and said, release that man to go back home. In fact, you're not only going to release him, you're going to drive your cars to take him home to be safe with his wife and children. We need to start commanding and make sure that you bring order in society. It doesn't start by just doing nothing. I'm expecting the military to act accordingly. Pick up the phone and phone this police station to release him because he hasn't done anything. It's not a crime to have a meeting. It's not a crime to dine with your friends. It's not we have seen how many meetings we have seen ZANU-PF holding in town in Zimbabwe. A lot. Okay? A lot of meetings that we have seen pushing their 2030 nonsense. But when any other person sit down, 40 people or so, they get arrested. Release our brothers now. I know the police, you can hear me. I know you watch my videos, you can hear me. do the right thing and let SIKHALA and the other 40 go home in peace. It's not a crime to sit around and dine with your bodies. It's not a crime to sit around and discuss what to do with Zimbabwe. It's not a crime to wish a better country where you guys get better salaries. Because we heard from Comrade GEZA that some of your NP, we know, and I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying it's not a crime to discuss, where this country should go and make sure Zimbabwe becomes great again. It's not a crime, brothers. So do what's right and bring sanity in the country. All right. We all know the shenanigans of Zimbabwe and its political toxicity. We are much aware of it. But no one could ever describe it in a way that was very emotional, though. But important, because I know some of you did not watch this video. I checked on the video on that is on in conversation with the Trevor, and I realized that people did not watch it. But man, this guy said a lot about politics, a lot. And I want you to actually understand what's going on. The problem in Zimbabwe is more to do with gatekeeping. Okay, there are gatekeepers around Mnangagwa, and there was also allegations. People say that there are also gatekeepers around Chamisa. You know, some people think actually that I'm a Chamisa gatekeeper. I'm like, me? I'm not a guys. I am not Chamisa's gatekeeper. I'm simply someone who believes in his leadership. So I believe in almost every Zimbabwean who may come up tomorrow and say, yo, I think I've got a gift. I think I can take this country forward. I'll believe in them. But what I'm not going to do is to believe in Mnangagwa. He has nothing to offer. I don't believe in that guy. He has nothing to offer for Zimbabwe. So sorry, Mr. Mnangagwa, you are not what I'm looking for in this era. I'm not learning nothing from you. Like now you're actually arresting innocent people. It shows you're not leadership material. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want your leadership. Because your leadership brings all the time a curse on Zimbabwe. We are under curse because of your violence nature. We don't want that in our country. We want loving men, respectful, humble people who really love to serve. You are not a servant. I don't know what you're on about, because honestly, you have failed our country. You have brought, a shame. So resigning will be the best thing. And by the way, don't forget that I reminded you that Comrade GEZA is going to have another presser this weekend. Okay, it's going to be an update. Then I'm sure it's going to be like the final update. I'm just saying, I think, to say that we are done and we're good to go. Okay, we're good to go. We are taking action. Especially now that you actually arrested an innocent man, they're definitely going to be taking action. That's exactly it. So now let's hear Comrade Mananga. Sorry, no, Bishop. Okay, I don't know if he's a comrade, but I think he's a bishop. Okay, Bishop Mananga or Mananga, sort of Mananga, Mapuzi, Mananga. But anyway, Bishop Mananga, right? He said a lot of stuff. Oh boy, this is not it. I want to apologize. Something has happened here. Whew, that's the worst that could ever happen in my life. Okay, I don't need this right now. Honestly, like I prepared my stuff. Like honestly, today I was like, I'm faithful to the cause. Man, this is not on. Jesus Christ, this is not on. I apologize, but I'm doing something. I want to get to this information. I want you to listen to, okay? So the first one, he was really just talking about the violence, that some PF do not have copyright the violence, but I had more information because what I wanted to do was to paint a picture of what's really going on in the country, because these guys are speaking out. Looking at Mugabe's era and moved to Mnangagwa, and here we are, the same old vicious cycle of ignorance. I call it ignorance for a reason. It's because I realize that when I look at what's going on in the political space, that's when you see how ignorant people are and how wisdom is so important. I'm not saying education, right? I said wisdom, because you can have all the certificates in the world and still be dumb. We can see it right now in the Zimbabwean space, especially when I look in the political area. People can tell you, talk a good game, write good English, but man, they're flat. They're flat. Instead of me, so let's take a listen to the bishop, what he said. Take a listen, please.
ZANU-PF does not have the copyright on violence. They may have the encyclopedia, but these other parties are writing their own novels. We see it. And so we have to ask ourselves, how is it? I saw this firsthand. looking right now at what's happening from 2017, how President Mugabe was unceremoniously removed, to the other guys in the opposition, and how they splintered like amoeba. There is something within us that us, whether we come from ZANU-PF, whether we come from MDC, whether we come from Triple C, that doesn't want to say, Trevor is leading. Let me allow him to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And should I get the opportunity to lead, it will be my turn.
That's a very simple principle. There's something not right with us that we just cannot afford we can't just afford someone the time to just be a leader. We know that we've really been acceptant and tolerant as far as ZANU-PF's nonsense is concerned. Okay, we went through with Mugabe for decades. He left at 37 years in the space, ruining everything to the core. Then he came in Mnangagwa. We thought now we are having a new chapter. We are starting. Mnangagwa became worse. He destroyed. Now he's left the country in ashes. Sewers are everywhere. Dirty all over the place. These guys could not even be able to build a proper public toilet in Harare town. Okay, I keep on saying this because it's embarrassing. You can't build a proper public toilet. What a shameful lot, you know. But I do not understand the narrative that it's no, opposition cannot lead this country. I've heard that many times. Okay, no, Chamisa will never be the president of this country. I've heard it. Maybe they were coming from a good place, maybe they were not coming from a good place. That's not the issue. The issue is I can never open my mouth and say, let's assume maybe tomorrow Kasugure's son wake up and say, yeah, I want to be the president of Zimbabwe, right? And then I stand, I'm like, Kasugure's son will never be the president of this country. Then people need to ask me, what is wrong with me? Who am I to decide on behalf of the entire Zimbabwe to say who's going to be a leader and who cannot be a leader? That's what the problem is. Is there are few people who think they are the only ones who are capable. Okay? And that to me is dangerous. Extremely dangerous, because once you do that, you are simply taking us back where we are coming from. It means the ZANU-PF people have not repented from their sins. And but I also mentioned that last time that people repentance is one thing. Change takes time. Most of the people in ZANU-PF need to be detoxed. When I say, I don't know, I remember talking to someone else talk about, and it's more gross, so I can't repeat it here. But I think they need to be detoxed, because their mentality is so backward, and I repeat, it's backward. Okay, we have seen even let's look at South Africa, for example. They've had how many leaders? Look at Botswana. Young people, did you see? Peaceful transition, class electoral processes. Today, they are vibing. Right? But in a Zimbabwean context, someone will say, Chamisa will never be the president of Zimbabwe. And then you sit, you look at the person who says, so what solution do you have? They would rather see Zimbabwe burn into ashes than to allow a Zimbabwean person to just lead. Why you know, guys, listen. Anyone that is Zimbabweans will vote for, I swear, even if I do not like the person, I will do everything in my power to support that person to make sure they succeed. Because once their leadership succeeds, it also, affects my life. So it's unfair to say, oh, because I don't like this person, I'll make sure that he fails. No, that's not a good heart. That's not a good attitude towards leadership. You should be able to say, okay, it's fine, let's give him an opportunity. We are going to run behind them. We are going to believe in him, because once this country succeed, I succeed, my children succeed, my children's children will live in a better country. So we have a problem, Zimbabweans, as people. There's just something not right with us. The failure to accept someone's leadership is on its own poisonous. And on its own, it is detrimental to the blessings of God upon a country. Because God will never bless a nation where you are fighting those that are supposed to be in leadership. We don't want Mnangagwa because we try to assist him. Mnangagwa don't even want the assistance. Mnangagwa don't even want you to help with any. He doesn't want that. Mnangagwa wants to loot in peace. That's why he uses violence. We want him gone for that reason. Because if he genuinely wants people to assist him, he can reach out to many Zimbabweans across the world and say, yo, let's do this thing together. Like he started that way. But along the way, he stopped. He began to play his dirty games. So Mnangagwa is off the books. I don't want to talk about him as a waste of my time. I want to talk about where we are going moving forward. we need to be ready to accept each other, okay, and respect that this person can be a leader, and we need to support them, because once Zimbabwe becomes a better country, we are going to be happy. Not to say nobody, I don't like the person. You may not like them, but you need to do what's right. Surely there are many people in South Africa who hate this government of national unity, and black people are very clear on that most of the time. Not all, but some people. But trust me, they don't have a choice. They have to support it. Do you know what happened today? You saw the sanction that has been really dropped on South Africa by the United States of America. If we don't learn from there and keep on just running around without learning, I'm a firm believer that everything that you see, there's a lesson to learn. So now, Elon Musk went to America. You could not forget his white people in South Africa. I think what he said did not say it properly, okay, because that's not exactly what happened. But let me just look at the sanctions. The sanctions are on South Africa today, right? These are white people looking out for each other. Do you get this right? Okay, so to a point where I heard Trump said, no, you white people who are in South Africa, you are more than welcome to come here and stay in America. White people are looking after each other. But a Zimbabwean person don't like to actually see their own brother lead. And most of these guys say they are going to church. Okay, most of them say they go to church every Sunday. That's what I'm telling you. On Mnangagwa's side, they go to church. On Chamisa said they all go to church. But let me tell you, these guys are ruthless and toxic to the core. Then you ask yourself, which God are you really serving? Because the one that I serve, the God that I serve, is a God of love. He's a God of support. He's a God of prosperity. He's a God of abundance. He's a God of sanity. It breaks my heart to hear Komichon saying that, in fact, Zimbabweans, most of them are mentally ill. It's on record. Komich said most Zimbabweans are mentally ill today. 40% of Zimbabweans are mentally ill from toxic politics. And here we are, we find that is normal. I'm just saying, Zimbabweans, it's time for us to do away with our love for individuals. I understand that and I respect you. I have my own person that I support. But we need to start maturing from these I don't want to say called, but these personality, they call it personality politics, but I think you can support a person, but put a country first. Okay. When you put a nation first, you will think better. That even tomorrow, maybe people can vote for whoever. Maybe it's SIKHALA. Maybe it's whoever it can be. You're still going to be in a position to say, that's all right. I believe in them. It's okay. Now, the call of the protest that we wanted to listen to yesterday, which I think I want us to actually run with it now. The issue of protest that you see is if Mnangagwa refused to resign, the only option is to say goodbye, by opening this rally of Mnangagwa has to go, like what happened in 2017. People had to go on the streets, but there's a lot of that is going on in the background. I saw a tweet from my brother today that meetings are going on, really the way forward, which is an inclusive way forward. And my prayer that this won't be from a platform of deception. I pray this is really out of love, genuine taste to see Zimbabwe, succeed. Not, we just want to hoodwink people and then we can grab this thing. Guys, I'm praying that anyone who have those thoughts should go down before the time. I told God, I said, anyone who thinks can have the thoughts to destroy Zimbabwe should go down before the time. That's my prayer. Should go down before the time. Now let's listen to the presentation of Senengam. There's a lot that is said. I know sometimes we listen when we just listen. We're getting excited to actually hear what's the way forward, but we don't get to follow the wording. Okay, the wording is very important. First and foremost, shout out Senengam, shout out brother. I'm greeting you in love. But people have been saying Senengam is a runner. I don't know. People are just saying, people are saying a lot on the streets, but they've been saying he's a runner. He's a Zimbabwean brother whom we should respect. Take a listen, please.
Also giving to fellow Zimbabweans, including war veterans, war collaborators, the young people. and all those within certain structures and systems who participated in bringing this misery into Zimbabwe, that we have that obligation to make sure that we correct the wrongs that we caused in this country, because what we pushed for and what we promoted in November 2017 is the reason why Zimbabwe is in this mess. So we cannot continue to pretend like everything is well. We have to correct that situation, and I'm here to say I'm back into politics full time, and I'll be doing everything necessary to make sure that we achieve a just, developed, prosperous, and developed Zimbabwe for all Zimbabweans.
I want to stop there for a minute, and I'm sorry there. I know sometimes it sounds very disrespectful, but listen, you said I'm back full time. Last time he said he was leaving politics, now he's come back in the space. There is an entitlement spirit that I'm feeling. You're back into politics, okay? So what? So what, sir? You're back, yes. So what? Okay, because it's like I'm full time come back into politics. It doesn't mean that politics is the only career that is in the country. There's nothing else that people can do with their lives except to be in politics. I'm not just, no, respectfully, sir, but I'm asking, don't you have anything to do in life, Mr. Seningam, except politics? By the way, I'm asking a very good question here because it's a very important question. Go ahead.
Then the second reason why I called for the presser was, after reflection, after introspection, I came to the appreciation that we were wrong in not heeding President Mugabe's advice. That uyu haite indana chanozira Gushungo, wherever you are, I'm here to say we're sorry for not heeding your advice. You were right. We thought Kuti it was all about obsession with power. We thought Kuti fine makanga msinga kusia, that's why makanga msinga apinde. But we should have known better because you were with this guy for more than 50 years.
Thank you.
To know his strengths and weaknesses. But because takachuza kusanzwa, we find ourselves as a people in this mess. And we are responsible for the troubles that we find ourselves in. Those of us who held the pressers, who mobilized the masses, those who went into the streets to protest against President Mugabe and caused him to resign. We are paying a price for them replacing him with a disaster that is before us. Then secondly, I would want to apologize to fellow Zimbabweans because I was a front runner in terms of mobilizing and convincing people to support Mushari Kwawu. Kana ukaona munhu achityaira mota usati wakura mota yake hauzivi kuti anotyaira sei. It is only when you board their car ukatoona vachidriva semunhu akadhakwa varuda kuita mahead on, that is when you realize kuti so munhu anga ari kuita semutyairi anogona, but anyhow kuti anga ari kuvhurirwa nevamwe achitsikirwa mabreki nevamwe. So this is what I noticed in 2019, in the period from August 2019 to when I was expelled from ZANU-PF, because I realized that the person we pushed for and the person who was then in office are two different people. The one who attacked the American Party that corruption must be fought, tribalism must have no place in Zimbabwe, nepotism must have no place in Zimbabwe, there must be rule of law, there must be respect for human rights, there must be justice, there must be equality. It's not the same person with the one who is now in office. And when I came out saying out kuti no varume zvinji zvadhakwa, some thought I was mad, and vamwe vakafungira kuti no ambeno zvinhu zvandakanga ndiri kuzama kuita. But I'm happy that we are now on the same page, including vamwe vari mupolitiki muZANU-PF, including vamwe vari muCentral Committee in all the provinces. They are confessing kuti vakanonokawo kuona panguva dzatakaona. Isusuwo takanonokawo kuona vana Mugabe vakanga vakaona kumashure nevamwe vakanga vakaona kumashure. So zvimbwanana hazvisvinuri musi mumwe chete. So I'm here to say it's never too late for us as Zimbabweans to correct this mistake that has caused that this trouble that we find ourselves in. Then the other reason why I came is that I'm here also to represent other young people in supporting our fathers and mothers, the war veterans who have been bold enough to come out and air out their views and air out their opinions in exercise of their constitutional rights. Vachita stand against grand corruption that is happening in this country. Vachita stand against looting, nepotism, tribalism, incompetence, impunity, and abuse constitution in Nika. I have heard a lot of people on social media and wherever we are moving around talking to people saying, no, but this is a ZANU-PF fight. This is a succession issue. This is a factional issue within ZANU-PF. To some extent, yes, it is about succession within ZANU-PF. It is about factional fights within ZANU-PF. But also, to the other extent, it is about Zimbabwe. Because whatever that happens within ZANU-PF as the governing party has got an effect, a positive or negative effect on every Zimbabwean. So we cannot afford to fold our hands. Tichiona vanhu vachita molest the constitution, tichiona vanhu vachita grand corruption and looting in Zimbabwe, tichiona tribalism ichito entrenched in Zimbabwe, tichiona vanhu vachita mismanage the economy and vachi abuse the resources enyika for personal benefit. That cannot be a ZANU-PF matter, because the constitution that they seek to molest is not a ZANU-PF constitution, it's a national constitution. Though part of the plan is to block Vice President Chiwenga from ascending. But why do they want to do that? They want to do that because they want to continue to loot. They want to continue to be corrupt and steal from Zimbabweans. Atinangobvira takaona umbavha hwelevel yatiri kuona izvozvizvi. So Zimbabweans, as much as there are elements of ZANU-PF fights from whatever is happening, but we cannot afford to fold our hands and watch and pretend that whatever happens in ZANU-PF doesn't affect us. What happened in 2017 affected all Zimbabweans. So if we allow whatever is happening to continue, it is us who are at the losing end. So we have to set aside all our differences, whatever they are, and come together and do the necessary so that we get ourselves out of this mess. And the reason also for this pressure, is to send a very clear message to Msharukwa, to urge him to seriously consider tendering his resignation.
Okay.
It is the only rightful thing for him to do now, because temperatures are high out there. Things are not as they seem. People are losing patience. The masses have been cornered. So Zimbabwe is sitting on a ticking time bomb. Resigning from Sharukwa is the best thing, not just for himself, but also for his family, also for the stability of Zimbabwe, and also for the survival, if he cares, for the party that he proposed to stand for, ZANU-PF. But it is important that he realizes that Zimbabweans no longer need him in office. Zimbabweans cannot afford to have him in office for the next day, because they know that his continued occupation of the highest office in the land means more trouble for them. When matumbu yevana veZimbabwe are so clear kuti the economy is being mismanaged. The closure of all retail giants is a clear sign that there is a problem, a big problem in this country. The collapse of a currency is a clear indication that someone has failed. But we cannot be like what we were in 2017, where Zimbabweans were saying, Vamugabe vari right but vakavakomberedza. people around a leader do not fall from heaven. It's around a leader. It is that leader who chooses those people to be around him. So those who are in cabinet, who are stealing, who are underperforming, those incompetent people are there because the one who appointed them is happy with their performance. They are his people, he is happy with them, and he is happy with everything that they are doing. As much as Mugabe had his own weaknesses and shortcomings, but he would make sure that he doesn't publicly surround himself with criminals and people with questionable characters. And like what we are seeing today, where you have Msharupa publicly going out with the likes of Vanawikino, anenge atori mberi koma minister, anenge atori mberi koma vice president, breaking all the protocol, moving around boasting kuti akachibata and he is untouchable. Mugabe, even tikataura zvinenge, he never stopped that law. So the reason for what the intervention in 2017 we were told was because Mugabe was surrounded by criminals. But today it's been done abroad. The looting is worse, corruption is worse, being looted. Izvo zvakatora gas, mines estate esivakatora. And now we are being told kuti from the Mutapa nonsense that they created in the name of the sovereign wealth fund, Zimbabwe owes them more than $1 billion. For what? So it is high time that we as Zimbabweans come together and make sure that we get rid of the trouble that is before us. And it has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt that Mukuru is deceitful. He indicates left, then turns right. What he says and what he does, zvakasiyana. What he says and what he means, zvakasiyana. Ndokusaka muri kuona even nyaya ya 2030. Some people are still choosing to be confused. Mukunzi mukuru akabuda achiti handisi kuda za 2030. Notibvunzeira mwesusu. We operated with him. We sat down with him. Munosangana nhasi manheru and agree on something. Ine muchibuda muchireva direction mawirirana naye, iye akabvunzwa mangwana anobuda achikurambai. He is good at doing that. And at throwing people under the bus. Kuti kana zvinhu zvaipa anokurambirai kuti I was never part of this. But when he is the mastermind and the brains behind everything that will be happening. So
this is quite interesting. You know, how many times I've said I blame a lot of Zimbabwean men in politics. You know, he plays people so openly. Mnangagwa plays them so openly. We all know that most of the money that he has are state money. We are much aware of that. All of us. It's not like we don't know. We know that, right? Yeah. And then he uses people and he dumps them. But you will see, in the midst of that, some people will be on the queue to be used as well. We went through the very same drama with that was Douglas Monzora, right? But look what happened in 2023. There were people who were willing to say, I'm here, do whatever you want with my life. And I want to zero into Mafume. Okay, Mafume is trending because of the corruption. I still remember Mafume arrogantly, you know, remember when he was sitting wearing a yellow shirt, disrespecting people, speak about the leaders from 2019, that is the MDC leaders. And the way they humiliated Chamisa, I remember that. And I'm going to zero into Chamisa. Some people think, oh no, because of Chamisa thing. No, because he was the one that was at the center of this before he resigned, okay? And people were laughing. Like Sengezo Shamanga can't want to see that idiot behind bars. I can't wait it. But because I know he's going to be behind bars. But they will be laughing. Everything was a joke to them. Forgetting the entire Zimbabwe that invested their soul in their hearts for the past election 2023. They forget about them. It was simply their joy excitement and the relationship with Mnangagwa and the ZANU-PF people. The back and forth process of Mutangwa. Even why is Mutangwa is so quiet? Because I want him to be out. Come out, sir, and talk. And Chinamasa, come out. I want to hear you speak. Now you know that you are done. You are done. Okay. They were saying a lot of things. And fast forward. Now it's not even 2 years, y'all. It's not even 2 years, right? It's not even 2 years. The guy is being grilled, humiliated. Okay. If he could have just listened to the citizens and dined with us, he was not going to be part of the recalls of Makoni. Remember Ian Makoni, what an incredible man. His humble nature. He walked away and Mafume took over the reins of the Harare mayor. What happened? I remember holding each other's hands with Mnangagwa. He felt like he was the big man in town. Yo, don't forget 2017. The military generals who were at the forefront, who anointed Mnangagwa to the throne. Okay, I'm talking about the generals, the big boys. Right, what happened to them? Where are they now? You heard last time on the press of Comrade GEZA that these guys were killed. Okay, yeah, they were killed. Even Owen Mood is being accused of being the one in the front of the murdering of the our generals, the military guys, the big fathers, the big boys. Okay, but there is another Zimbabwean who comes better from the opposition party or any just random individual thinks that no, Mnangagwa loves me or his children loves me. So you actually tell me that the people that stood in 2017 anointing him, ushered him to the throne. Look, a lot happened, including to Chiwenga too. Allegations that he was poisoned. Okay, don't forget, it's all on public domain. And you are just a random guy from the street. You think I'm going to be loved better. Okay, this man, yo, how dumb can we be? Guys, listen to me. Once a snake is a snake, it can never change. Okay, it will never change because it's you. Now you come out here, you say, "Why we get used?" You get used. But I also remember that Senengam, the time he was kicked out and booted out of ZANU-PF, he alleged that he went to report to Mnangagwa that the children were taking people's minds. Mnangagwa's children were taking Zimbabweans' minds, the young boys' minds. Everywhere they know that there's gold, these boys will go there and take it because, you know, my father is a president. Remember, it's on record, right? So he went to report to Mnangagwa, and the following day he received a phone call, very unique phone call, that is, stay the hell away from my children. Okay, he didn't want to say the person, but he said he received a very unique phone call. It's on record. Now, I don't understand Zimbabwean men, hear me out, because it's very rare to see women being used. I'm talking about Zimbabwean men, my brothers who are in the political space. You're the one that are being used. Where are your brains? Where are your brains? What's going on? Where is the education that we all pride in ourselves? We are educated. You can't use your education for doing the right thing. To actually know that your vision and your purpose matter like the way Mnangagwa, everything that he does is pushing for his own children and his own family. And you have the nerve to allow him to destroy your own family and your own children, because he does. He has ruined so many lives by all his gimmicks. We cannot afford to have Mnangagwa for a day in the office. This guy is a destroyer. Everything that he touches turns to ashes. It is what it is. Guys, do you know, during the SADC summit, this dude just said, no, we are building, we are building, what do you call, you're building the houses for the SADC delegates. Remember, it was, everything was the channels to loot. If you see those villas that they spend millions of dollars, if you see them today, you're gonna cry. These guys are wasting our lives. Do you know? Look at the boots in the interchange. $88 million. That's like trillions of rands for that small circle thing. That roundabout. Trillions of dollars. No, of rands, sorry, of rands. 88 million, if you convert in dollars, it's a lot of money. Okay, if you convert in rands, my bad, so I can understand better. That's a lot of money. We're allowing these guys to waste our lives. I'm not even worried about the looting part. They are wasting our life. Right now, Mnangagwa is in Tanzania. If keeping Mnangagwa for a day, I need to ask him. I can ask him, what are you really doing, sir? No, it's just flying out and go, just been talk a good game. And because there's a statement already written, come back and just gallivanting and go and be dining with his friends that are building. You know, that other corrupt individual that is on record, that is a corrupt guy. That other, you look like a Chinese or Indian guy. You know, the guy, I forgot his name. What's his name, man? Holy Spirit, help me. You know, they were dining a few days ago, and I'm sure he's got interest there, because he's got interest everywhere. It's all about Mnangagwa. I'm not saying this because I hate him, because Mnangagwa is wasting our life. Mnangagwa is destroying our lives and our destiny. Our children's children are going to call us cursed. You know, the Bible says, you know that scripture that says, and a good father, remember, will leave inheritance for his great grandchildren. And he talks of posterity, right? We are going to be called the cursed ones. I think in our situation, they'll be saying, and a bad father, okay, a bad father will leave inheritance of pain to his great and grandchildren, because we failed to put order in the country. We allowed an individual who left his family. Mnangagwa left his family. For some reason, we look at him like he's a god or something. He's just a human being who does what he wants and threatens people. That's what he does. He threatens. You know, if you remember him say, don't forget that everyone, even the security sector, are created those institutions, and they know who their godfather is. And then you guys shiver. No, you must say you are not the godfather of this country. You speak back whenever the enemy speaks. That's how it works. You speak back. We allow people to waste our lives. When I think about Zimbabwe, my heart bleeds. Guys, 40% people who are mentally challenged because of poverty is not a child's play. It's not a joke. 40% people are mentally challenged because of poverty. It is painful.
You can't allow yourselves to be deceived. That's a blue lie. Because his appointees, who include political members and ministers, can't be going around opposing his voice. Because for all we know, when the president says something in ZANU PF, hakuna munhu anoita magatsi ekuita go against that. Whatever the president says becomes a law, becomes a police position, becomes a command. So you can't have him saying something and his appointing saying the other. You can't have him say something, then provincial chairpersons go to his farm, start chanting the 2030 slogan right at his farm. You can't have him coming out and say, I'm not part of this 2030 charade. And then you have him then addressing MPs, even from the captured CCC, saying they want to push for a constitutional amendment so that he extends his term beyond 2028. So, are we that dour Zimbabweans that we can allow ourselves to be fooled by open tricks? It is clear that he is the one behind that idea, and he is the one who started with it. Or Parakabuda started with 2030 ndenge ndichipo. So it is clear. So he is deceitful. So you can't have a leader who is that deceitful, that what he says is different from what he says. Because when he does that, it causes even foreign investors to lose confidence. When you have a leader who is ready to tear the constitution, no one will have confidence in that country, because they know that whatever investment that they bring in that country, things can change in within a flash of a second. He has proven that he is guilty, he is greedy and ungrateful. Why? He has allowed even millions to demean people who stood up for him. Because 2017, Musharukwa akanga appear politically. And some individuals had to put their heads on the block for him. Akanga ashetuka border, Arwakas. He was now in safe land, in a safe territory. Vanhu vakatora misoro vakaisa pamatanda zvokuti dai chinhu cha 2017 chakaflopa hakuna chaimwana, but vamwe kuno kuvaidamburwa musoro. And what has he done to all those people, the answers you have. So what that means is even those that he is surrounding himself with, those that he is fronting now, those that he is using now, they are not even safe. Because in any day, any minute, any second, he can turn against you apedza kukushandisa. So you must know kuti you cannot allow yourselves to be used, to be compromised and then dumped, because you live to regret it. He has also proven that he is selfish. He cares only about himself and his family and those he chose to dine with. Those vanumpa, because the word is there in the street that in whatever do that happens in government, in every ministry or parastatal, musharupa anenga ine zino rake ipapo. No, we can't have that. Ndakambobuda ndichitaura nyaya yekuti vakomana vana appetite inenge yembudzi, inenge yebhonzo. But what we are seeing now is kudya kwevanhu, kudya kwembudzi yanga yakasungirirwa. Have you seen what happens kana mbudzi yanga yakasungirirwa yakadambura tambo? Amuibate inoti ikarova pa and mate embudzi akaipa, because chese chaarova achirarame. So this is what we have also seen, and he has proven that he is incompetent. Pachirungu vanonzi, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Look at the people that he surrounds himself with, not who have surrounded him, that he surrounds himself with. But those people did not impose themselves on him. He has the powers to even say, I don't want to be with them and I don't want to see them. But because they are useful for his purposes, he has kept them. He has proven to be tribalistic and nepotistic. Some of us stood up in 2015. Takaimbwa mazezera nkongarepo kumazoe. Tikati, no, we can't have nyika ichivakwa on the basis of tribes. But in him we didn't see Nkaranga. We saw somebody who could unite people, but no, we were wrong. These are appointments everywhere, including in the party, even in government, parastatals, strategic institutions. He is staffing with his clansmen and relatives. But all we know is that he is just doing that so that he gets the support of certain provinces, not because he has got some special love for those provinces, no, but so that he can sustain his rule by purporting to be doing things for a certain tribe. So, what is the message today? The message I have today is that one, there is no need to spend lots of time in talking about these issues, because in Zimbabwe, or you are forced in a situation to go out there. Situation in situation iri mudumbu menyu, situation iri mumba mako, situation yawakafesana nayo as we are speaking, must tell you what is right and what is necessary that we have to do together. Guruva rikasimuka, you don't need anybody to tell you to close your eyes. Zvinogoitika ipapo tono guruva rasimuka ndinokuvara ovhara maziso. But we know that Zimbabweans want someone to organize them, want someone to give them a signal. But our time is not giving you a signal enough for you to know what to do. Okay, fine. If you are waiting for the signal, then it's coming. It's definitely coming. Zimbabweans, we have been divided for too long. Rezanu lacho vakabva vakondishinwa to a point yekuimba song yekunzi muzanu chete ndomandogara munamo nematambudziko zvinondiwana
ndirimo. Alright, muzitarashe ndimoma ndinogara munamo nematambudziko zvinondiwana ndirimo. Yeah, I've never seen such gullibility that's going on in the political space, honestly. And some people want to tell me, no, it's because you may not understand better. There's nothing to understand better. You guys, all of you know that you're being used, but you keep on surrounding a man that he's abusing you. Okay, it's abuse for him to use you to his dirty work and then dump you. Okay, he moves to the next person, and someone is going to jump and say, I'm loved. We've got this mentality of, I want to be closer to the, when you're working and you want to be closer to the manager. I hate it with passion. I don't want to be closer to people that much to a point where I don't know where to draw the line. That's exactly the problem that we have in Zimbabwe. You get into a political party and you can see you want to be closer to your president because I'm closer to the president. No. You are there to do the work. Do your job and go home. Everyone who speaks around Mnangagwa's regime, they cannot finish a sentence without mentioning Mnangagwa's name. What kind of stupidity is that? Watching Zodwa Mkanda. Is that Mkanda? Hey, I heard you one day talking about your life and business. Before you know it, because of Mnangagwa, you don't have anything to say about life without mentioning Mnangagwa's name. You are the problem. You're bootlicking this man and you're destroying him. And I've said that the greatest enemies for Mnangagwa's life, his bootlickers. They're a threat to his sanity. And I can tell you, if Mnangagwa wants to do the right thing today, he's still going to be respected. But if he doesn't, unfortunately, he's going to go down in a humiliating way because he doesn't want to do the right thing. Just resign. I don't even know what he was going to Tanzania to do for her. Just resign, sir. Go. Because I agree with Comrade GEZA saying this guy's useless. He's clueless and he's telling the truth. You can say someone is clueless by where the country is today. Clueless. If a leader can allow foreigners to come in the country and take the food that's supposed to feed his own kids and go to their countries that, guys, you know how China looks like, right? You know how Russia looks like, right? Yeah, and Chinese people are taking from us and leave us with nothing and just come with small books and the Chinese rice. From the Chinese rice that they bring to Zimbabwe are those ones for animals to give us and say, oh, we brought you rice, and you're jumping about and give someone a 1 kg of rice, losing billions of dollars through financial illicit flows, our minerals. No, something is not right with us, guys. I'm gonna drill truth until you know that I mean business. Zimbabweans, we need to love ourselves enough and look squarely in the Mnangagwa's face and say, you need to go. It's not about, you are good, go and be good at cricket farm or whatever. If you want to go to Zambia and be dining or Dubai, you've got so many places, you've got bodies, or Belarus, with your body there. You can do whatever you want, but you're not leadership material. We have to be honest enough to tell this man, to say, sir, you are really wasting our time. I mean, like, guys, I'm 42 years old, okay? I'm 42 years old, okay? I don't know how old you are, some of you, because I can only imagine 42 and be dealing with a man that's, this Mnangagwa, he does not have no inspiration at all, none. From him and his wife, nothing to learn from them. Chaos. The wife who anakachizura dzimba dzevano nentove, achibikira muzvihari zvakapwanyika, but vane billions of dollars stashed in foreign land, woodwinking people, and she calls herself a leader. In the next Zimbabweans, I want to ask you for one thing. When you are voting for a leader, or when you choose a leader, don't forget, you're also voting for the wife, okay? All right. Women are so powerful, more than you can ever imagine. I can never exonerate Auxilia Mnangagwa on what's going on in the country today. I can't, unfortunately, because I know she's got a say there. I know her woodwinking people across the country. So I don't see someone who's serious about leadership. Because if I have to marry a man who's going to be a leader, a president, I want him to succeed. And I want him to work out with respect. I want to see him building the nation, not unleashing violence. Have you ever heard Auxilia talk against violence one day? Anyone, please, if you did. Have you ever heard Auxilia complaining about violence in the country? No. No way. There's no way. Okay. People are abducted, tortured, killed. She'll never say a word. In fact, she'll just even say, people who take it, she'll never say a word. Remember the 1-year-old baby that stayed in prison? You remember that story? Yeah. She only went there after doing months. When we spoke, that's when she went to that prison. Next time in your next life, your next leadership, you must remember that when you are bringing a man into leadership, you must also consider his wife. Is she leadership material? Hear me out. I repeat, is she leadership material? Because the success of the husband will be determined by the wife that he marries. Okay, let me have some water. Okay. The success of every man is being determined by the woman that he marries, if he chooses to marry. The success of a man, sometimes a woman, is determined by the man that she marries. If I get married and you see me going down, just know that man is a problem. But if I marry someone and you see me succeeding, you must know that that man has got a hand on it. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Because if that man gives me peace, I will do double than what I've been doing. Because you know what? He will help me with some stuff. He will advise me. I can always have someone to bounce back my ideas. That even the mistakes I've made in my life, okay, and I can guarantee you, I always say this, if I was married, some of the mistakes I made, I was not going to make them because my husband was going to say, no, this is not it, baby, no, right? But because I was single, I was just going to bounce my ideas on my own, and it's fun, make my mistakes and come back or cry if I want to, you know? So I'm trying to tell you, when you bring a leader, post Munangagwa, okay, consider the wife. You must never undermine the power women have on men's decisions. Especially, we've been through a lot. We really need to be wiser than the devil. Let us be smarter, okay?
But muchiimiswa nevanhu vari kuluta nyika, who are now not millionaires, who are waiting to be billionaires. But kana vauya vokumobiliza inokukupai propaganda yekunge muono dzinoti muhondo makomere dzishingirira zvichanaka. Look at our fathers and mothers, the old veterans, vachiri kuchemana nhasi for the promises dzavakaitwa kudhara. Izvozvi zvavakumuditsirwa to 150,000, which is more wealthy less than motikari dziri kupiwa certain individuals munyika muno mawikino. Mariyo ndo yakunzi tiri kunopa ma-war veterans ese in a certain province kuda kuzama kuvazora mafuta enyama yavasina kudya. Mayouth akuunganidzwa paZANU-PF HQ vonzi vanatsenga muna gome vanoda kukutadzisai kuwana mastenzi ekudhinota. Kubva 2017 vachipinda vazoziva kuti mayouth havana stenzi now. No, they are doing it to buy your support. In the same way that they did it muna 2023 by election, vachitenga support yenyu ne-chicken in, ne-chingwa, ne-peps, which they stopped giving you pakangopera my elections. So nhamo yedu haisi kusarudza, hainei kuti uriwe ZANU tikupinga mashoko mamwe chete, hainei kuti uriwe Triple C, hainei kuti uriwe kwachamisa, hainei kuti ndiwe tsenengamwe wakadzingwa, hainei kuti ndiwani. We are being affected the same. So there is no point for us to allow those who have divided us to continue benefiting from the divisions that they caused within us. We must come together. We must come and reason together and build our Zimbabwe together and make sure that we get rid of the trouble that is before us. Now, and I understand, but I'll tell you this today. Zimbabwe, there are between 500 to 1,000. If you are to be generous with figures, our direct 1,000. But we issue 8 million adults, 8 million adults, kushungurudzwa nevanhu 500 or 1,000, kutya vanhu 500 or 1,000. What is it that they have? Chinoita kuti tifunga kuti vanhu 500 can continue to enslave us and do as they like in Zimbabwe. What is it that they can do to 8 million people? What is it? So I'm saying this so that you know kuti tawapata kungotya zizi harina nyanga.
Yeah.
The unity is in our numbers.
Right.
If we come together, set aside our differences and do the necessary, I'll tell you, in a minute, we will be free. Within a minute, we will be free. Because even right now, I'm not thinking they will be used against us. Now, I want to do that. If we talk to them, I want to do that. But because of one more chapter, then vanodzinga semadzingiro atakatya vamwe patakarasa matebhuru manners patakataura kuti chikafu chatiri pano patebhuru chabiro ndobvatauriwa bhutsu, so vanenge vachitya. But I'll tell you that when we come together and unite, hapana chinomira in our way. We will be able to achieve what we think cannot be achieved. And my second message goes to the Zimbabwean youths. Vakomana nevasikana, you have no future. You cannot continue to live on promises that are not going to be fulfilled. My youth are veterans vakanurwa, but zvikananda nemhumi ndozvatora pfuma yese. We now have parasites sucking everything out of this country. Kune vakomana nevasikana vakadeura misodzi dikitoro kuti Zimbabwe iuye when they were young, and we cannot allow to betray them. They look up to us to salvage the situation that Zimbabwe finds itself in. You have to put aside that fear. If we come together in big numbers and demand what is rightfully ours peacefully, we will be able to overturn this whole scenario that is before us. We must be embarrassed as young people. Kuti vadhara vapera vanenguva 6 o'clock akunorira ndo vari kubuda vachitirwira isu tichine future iri kudestroyiwa. We choose to twerk for freebies and motor from Wikino. Varume vari muZimbabwe vanyadzisa because hakuna mukadzi wandakaona akanotweka kuna Wikino kuti ndipewo mota. Zvaitwa nevarume. So I'm saying to young people, especially vakomana, you will be family men very soon, or some of you are already family men. You are youth kana mchenda kumusanga, but muchizovakumba vana vanenge vakamirira imini, akamirira sweet, akamirira mazepi. You have to pay fees, you have to pay rentals, you must have savings, you must build a house, you must buy a car, you must have a life. Wake up. To those in the diaspora, this is the time to support. Find ways of supporting everything that is happening here in Zimbabwe, which is positive, which is working towards the liberation, the true liberation of Zimbabweans, so that Zimbabweans can enjoy everything that they have in terms of resources that are God-given to us. And my message also goes to the security forces and security agents. You are our brothers and sisters. What we are pushing for is for your good. That Zimbabwe's resources must be accessed equally by every Zimbabwean. You deserve better. You don't have to be poor. You must be having a good life because you deserve it. It's high time that you refuse to be used against your own. Because when tables turn, you don't want to be seen wanting. Because madziro anenzere, masango anenzere, you cannot continue to be used to instill fear into your own parents, brothers and sisters. You cannot continue to be used to abduct, maim, arrest and kill on behalf of people who do not even care for you, who will only think of rewarding you or giving you freebies when they want to use you. You have a constitutional obligation to protect life and defend the constitution. That is what you must do. Vanhu vanokushandisai vane diplomatic passports. When tables turn, vanotiza. but hamuna kunokokerera. This is your Zimbabwe, this is all you have. So my last message kusharupa is trying to arrest people, trying to have false bravado and say I'm going to fight to the end, I'm going to do this and that, is fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
Those Zimbabweans are fed up. The Zimbabweans want their country back. They want their freedom, their resources back. Do the right thing, not just for yourself, but for your family and those whom you care for. And the only way that is before you now is to tender a resignation. We humbly, respectfully ask you, because it's constitutional, there's nothing criminal about what I'm asking of you. Because you have failed. You have dismally failed and failed Jiri legendary. Fellow Zimbabweans, if our core ikareka kunzwiwa, a signal is coming. A signal is coming. I thank you.
Oh wow, the signal is coming, y'all, because Mnangagwa doesn't look like he wants to resign at all. So we are all waiting for the signal, and it's very clear that that's the 2017 that is coming. But like I said earlier on, there are meetings in the background. Like there are meetings, very, very serious meetings to bring sanity into Zimbabwe. Okay, the meetings are going on, they're going on really well. And by the way, there's going to be a presser coming soon from what I heard, maybe today or tomorrow, but definitely tomorrow, I think tomorrow, because if it was today, we could have seen signs. We never saw a signal at all, because we know when there's a presser, there's a presser. So guys, you must look out for the presser. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's next, for Zimbabwe. Mr. Mnangagwa, what's going on with you, sir? Just to resign and go in peace. And Mnangagwa's kids, don't say I did not warn you, right? You must remember that when all is said and done, it's going to be harder for you to even live in Zimbabwe, okay? It's going to be harder. I don't know how to say it. It's going to be very difficult because you have made our lives difficult. So you're going to have to reap what you've sown. That's exactly what's happening now. Guys, this war presser was long. But like I said to you, he made it very clear. He's actually saying he's a runner. Okay, he said he's a political runner. I understand that. My prayer is that we get to a point where we put our sanity, okay, when I mean mental sanity first. Like, men on behalf of women. Guys, we want our femininity back. You understand? We want our feminine energy back. Most of women are moving around like men. They are carrying masculine energy because of suffering. I know some of you are complaining, oh no, but my wife doesn't respect me. What do you expect when she's in a country that is so brutal? Women are struggling to function under such conditions. Like, we are struggling because, guys, it's sad to watch, because how on earth am I going to actually be able to identify a good man? I was like, you know what, God, let that cloud pass. Let me just sit back and deal with this nonsense first. I want the dark cloud to pass, because I can only imagine, guys, how do you even get to love someone in America, coming to a country that's such a messed up? How do you even, I'm trying to understand, how do you even enjoy your life when other people are suffering, your neighbors, right? We need to, please give us our peace back. I'm begging you, Zimbabwean men, because you're the one at the forefront of all this nonsense. Mnangagwa as a man is not a woman, he's a man. I know that women play a part, but men, most of the guys that I see at the airport are men who are causing all these shenanigans in the country. We are asking you, please give us our peace back. We want to live again. Right now, we should be chilled at home, watching television. We have money everywhere, grocery. I'm tired of seeing Zimbabweans always on survival mode. Guys, aren't you desire to see a nation where you can eat what you like or what you want, not what's available? I was even telling my mom during the day that I genuinely believe that what you're seeing currently, you saw that most of shops are empty, right? There's no food. It's God who's kind of tried to put a stop to everything evil, and He's going to bring a new start soon. And I'm asking you, Let us be a nation that just desire to live in peace, that desire abundance. Well, you understand me? Guys, I'm tired of seeing people suffering. Let's put a stop to this poverty clinging thing. There's just something not right with us. Why do we love poverty so much? It's okay for someone to lead where we follow and support. There is nothing wrong with that. I also pray that we're going to have what we call a council of elders. Okay, I've told you last time that in Senegal, they do have what they call council of elders. These council of elders are powerful than the president. Do you remember that young man that came up, the dark, the brother with 2 wives that came out, very good looking, a hungry man, praise the Lord. Okay, everyone is beautiful. You're also beautiful. Okay. You went before the elders for anointing. They have to anoint you, which means they're going to monitor everything that you do in the country. Let's assume, because that's always been your argument, to say, no, but if a person comes there, they're not really good leaders. But imagine if a person comes in and we give them support, and we have council of elders who are modeling the person and support, we won't have the challenges we are facing today. We cannot afford to give a president powers like the way that we did to Mnangagwa and Mugabe. We should never allow that. A president needs to be under a council of elders. I pray that we're going to change our systems. Even the constitution should be written that a president is not as powerful as the council of elders, so that if he does just cross a line, out, he's booted out. Resign or we fire you. Let's stand on a principle. Just having a nation that is classy. Right now, what we'll be discussing about? Maybe it is inventions, businesses. This conversation will be talking. Guys, I don't know why we just want. It's politics all day long. We are tired. Fathers, hear me out. I know you watch my videos. Fathers, hear me out. Please, what you have started is a great initiative. We are behind you million times percent. We're also praying that this won't be a platform where some people are going to take an advantage, manipulate the system for their own deception. Fathers, I'm begging you, what we are asking you to do is to make sure we have the political systems that work for our people. We are tired. I don't know how to say. I can't say things over and over, But I just want you to know that Zimbabweans are fed up. And you're going to do what's right for the Zimbabwean people. Put a stop to the nonsense of Mnangagwa. Now, Mnangagwa must go. Mnangagwa, I repeat, sir, you need to go. You need to just go, please. The damage you have caused is beyond. You have caused generational damage. Okay, 2 generations have been ruined by your regime, from Mugabe's regime to your own piece of regime that it took this past 7 years. Has been nothing but horror, no development, no nothing. Masua everywhere. It's dirty, filthy. You have ruined things. You have reduced us to nothing. Fake doctorates, you name it. Fake prophets, fake doctorates, fake elections, fake everything. That's what it's going to be. Ali saying that. Fake everything about you is fake. So, Mr. Sir, please, we ask you to resign. And we're asking you, because remember, we're not only going to ask you, we are going to take action if you don't resign, to make sure that you go. We want you to please leave us alone in peace. We want to restart this country. We need a political culture completely new. My drama in GEZA Market in 2023 do not meet the standard that we deserve. In fact, we have passed that nonsense long time ago, Mr. Mnangagwa. We are not in that class. We have passed that nonsense of yours. So whatever you did now, Shamangu, you should be doing at your pre-cut farm, where mental institution people supposed to be pegged there. We don't want to be part of your nonsense at all. This nonsense we are seeing here, we do not want to be part of it. So let's make it clear. We don't want to be part of your drama and shenanigans. We just want a leader who inspires to be better, a leader who builds families, a leader who creates a conducive environment for men to thrive and women to thrive, a leader who understands that living means peace. But you, sir, You are so in love with poverty and suffering. You are so in love with toxicity. That's one of the reasons why the main reason we want you to say, please, 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 please. We don't want to be under your banner. Okay, just go in peace. Just go. We want peace in this country. Guys, you heard. We are waiting for a signal and for the pressure that's coming, the way forward. Fathers, you have my support. You have my support. Let's make Zimbabwe great again. Okay, guys, let's make Zimbabwe great again. No, I'm not even copying like what's going on in America. That was like the motto. But I genuinely believe we can make Zimbabwe the breadbasket, not only for Africa, but the world. Because we can do it. We have everything and what it takes to build a nation that we know we deserve. I love you. God bless. Oh no, before I go, guys, I'm asking you, there's quite a number of children that I have. I think I've got about 5 children. 6 children. Some of them have been assisted who are in primary school, who are desperately need money to pay for their school fees. Guys, if you know you want to extend your hand, you pay direct to the school. You don't pay money to anybody. We have got the invoices and banking details for schools, okay? It's not a lot of money, but we ask you please to chip in. There's quite a number of them that are coming up with no school fees. Just be a brother's keeper. That man that's supposed to go for lunch, for men, the man that's supposed to go for a date, okay? You can just, help a child. Plant a gift. Be of a blessing. It pays to give to those that are in need because you'll be borrowing God Almighty. Just imagine borrowing the Almighty God. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my number. Okay, let me just call it out for those that are here. My number is 0027. That is a South African code, right? 83-350-0982. I'm also going to drop it in the description box. Please get in touch with me via WhatsApp so that we can assist these children. We can pay fees for them. Guys, please, I'm begging you, these amazing girl children, amazing boy kids, amazing babies. Let's help them to have a better future. I love you. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. Have a good weekend and I'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait for the presser. I can't wait. God is so good. I love you. Bye for now.